Howdy, Possum Patty here. And you know, it's Saturday. And Mr. Possum took the trash to the dump and he stopped in the library to order a video. Well, on the way out, you know, they have a box where they throw, you know, the out-of-date magazines. They don't keep them. People look at them and then they just put them in a box and you could take them for free. Well, he stopped by and brought me some magazines. Yeah, well, I was watching Janet Nash the other night, and she was just doing some gentle journaling, hashtag gentle journaling, and it was so relaxing, and she was painting and ripping paper and gluing down and doing asemic writing, and I thought, you know, it was so inviting. Her creativity is just so inspiring, and I wanted to do it too. I mean, I immediately wanted to pick up something and start ripping strips. I didn't have any magazines, but now I do. Well, I was doing some journaling earlier, and I'll share that with you before I get into this. And Pixie and Lulu over here, they've been up to something today too. Well, I was working in my learning journal. I'll bring you in closer and show you in a moment. And they decided they needed to alter some composition notebooks. So that's what they've been working on. And they are just these gorgeous little composition notebooks. I can't believe that they could ever find one so tiny as that. Well, if you take a look at these tiny little composition books, I mean, they are like amazing. They've got the black and white cover. They've got the black band on the spine. The pages are sewn in. And I think, yeah, they've been working on this today. They've glued a few pages together and then they put little tiny washing tape along the edge. This is how I do it. So, and so ladies, where did you get the idea to make these little tiny composition notebooks? They said, Janet Nash had made one, a faux composition book. She made a little tiny composition book, and yeah, they must watch all her videos. I know I do. I think sometimes maybe they're just peeking over my shoulder, right? So they say they're prepping these journals, but they're not telling me yet what's going to go in there. So we'll have to see. One of them says Lulu, and one of them says Pixie. Well, let's switch them back around there then, because this is Lulu and this is Pixie. And now they have their own little tiny composition books. How adorable. Oh, she's just telling me one might be a learning journal. One might be a learning journal and the other one might be a positivity quote journal. So we shall see. Or a prompt journal, she's saying. Oh, wait, she has too many ideas. Let's let them decide what they're going to do. So I'm going to bring you in closer and show you really quickly the page that I was working on today in my learning journal. And yeah, then I'm just going to do some gentle journaling. Come on along. Well, it's a good thing that the fairy journals are so tiny because they're starting to pile up all around the studio. And this is my learning journal. If you're a new Possum Peep, welcome, welcome. And returning Possum Peeps, longtime Possum Peeps, you know what I'm talking about. I have always loved rocks. For as long as I can remember, I pick them up and I put them in my pocket and I bring them home. And I have piles of rocks everywhere. Well, now that I'm retired, I'm trying to learn a little bit about them. I have a rock identifier app on my phone. I look up some things online, like the metaphysical properties. And usually I just put a picture of the rock and some sort of image to help, you know, remind me what it is and maybe a few things about them. And I can put this playlist below. Now this rock reminded me of an Oreo cookie. So basically this page is about cookies. But I do say what kind of rock it is. So, you know, I don't have to write paragraphs and paragraphs about each kind of rock. Now, if I could just put one thing down on the page, I am happy. Then I can go back and look at them again, refresh my memory, and then maybe journal about it and add a few more things in there. Now you could do this with your gardening, with nature, with plants, with butterflies, whatever your passion is, you can do the same thing. Don't forget to add cartoons. You have enough rocks, but I don't have these rocks. That was sent to me by Heather C., Crafter's Alley, by Heather C. And then friends started sending me rocks. So I have friendship rocks, and now I'm making pages for my friendship rocks. This one's a friendship rock, and this one's a friendship rock, and this one's a friendship rock. This one I found on the road I'm calling my tiger rock. I did that last time. Well, I have a whole bunch of rocks here that I want to get into the journal, and I bet you I got enough to fill this journal if I could just get to it. And I do it very slowly because, like I said, I'm trying to remember something about each rock. And so, I take my time and look for an image. And I'm just using things I have laying around from my junk box and cut apart books and scrap paper, whatever I already have. That's what I'm using. So this is about the calcite Jupiter stone that I got. Now, I've already showed folks this, but we were at the rock shop buying some fossils for my grandniece for Christmas, and I discovered this stone, and the gentleman behind the cash register said it was a Jupiter stone. Now, this is calcite, but it has all these white bands in there, and when you put it under the UV light, it glows orange. It glows orange. Oh, it is amazing. So we're going from something that's clear with white bands to something that glows orange. So I did take it in the closet and do that. So I put a picture here of what it looks like under regular light and a picture of what it looks like in the closet under the UV light. And I put Jupiter stone. Okay, now you may be wondering about this because this little planet here with rings, I know you're out there telling me, Possum Patty, Saturn is the planet with rings, and you're calling this a Jupiter stone. And when I did my stamp haul the other night too, my stamps from the Dollar Tree, I pointed to a planet that had a ring around it, and I said, I'm going to use that as my Jupiter stamp because I've chosen Jupiter as my planet for the year. And people are getting like, oh, that's not Jupiter, that's Saturn. But you know what? It's glowing orange, and Jupiter does have orange bands in it, just like this glowing Jupiter rock, but it has some brown and beige, but it does have some red and red-orange bands on it, right? And Jupiter does have rings. Yes, it does. Saturn's rings are bold, in-your-face, gorgeous, big rings. But Jupiter has rings too. Much more delicate, but they are definitely there. 4 rings, and they're definitely there. So let's compare that, say, to an eagle's wings, which are huge and bold and very visible. Saturn's rings are like eagle wings, okay? And Jupiter's rings are like glossamer fairy wings, okay? Very delicate, but they're there. They're there. Glossamer fairy wings, okay? So I just compared the rings to wings. Anyway, I did a little bit of journaling. Oh, and I looked it up. And the metaphysical properties of the calcite are that it increases your energy of learning. So I had to put that in there. And the affirmation is, I am divinely protected and guided by the universe. And that's one of my concepts for 2024 is the universe. I'm like, how appropriate is that? How appropriate is that? I put this on a shiny universe background. I used some of that paper that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I punched some stars across the top with my Dollar Tree die cut. And on this side, now, Mr. Possum hasn't noticed, but I took a couple pages and the cover out of his National Geographic that he brought home for himself. Because it said, Mysteries of the Solar System. So I had to put that on the journaling card, right? Mysteries of the Solar System. And I've got my glowing Jupiter stone. And of course, this image came from that National Geographic also. And the words Dusty Beginnings. Now, why is Dusty Beginnings so appropriate for this? Because if you go back to the beginning of the journal, all rocks are stardust. And I found this little quote. In the wake of our sun's formation, a cloud of dust and gas was left swirling around the infant star. Gradually, these materials began to clump together, forming the beginnings of planets. So everything came from the stardust when our sun was formed. All rocks are stardust. The only problem I had with this page was that this is from a magazine, and so it was ripping when I was putting my journaling card in and out. So I put a piece of packing tape across the top. See if that'll hold that. I hope it does. But that's my Dusty Beginnings Learning Journal. I have some more rocks I want to put in here, but we're not doing that tonight. I have a band here somewhere on the table. I use these headbands from the Dollar Tree. And this is the first piece that I put poking up. And I just thought that was appropriate because they're stars, and now I have this starry cover on here. And they're poking up out the top of the journal. I was keeping this neat, but you know what? I can't keep to anything very long. I change my mind about everything as I go along. Okay, a little journaling session. He brought me a fall 2023 Magnolia. I used to watch their TV program all the time. And I went over to the shelf and I brought this over. This is a Dilutions Creative Journal, and I saw somebody doing mixed media in one of these, I bet you it was 5-6 years ago, and I ordered this off of the Amazon, and it's got a cover that you can decorate. It's got an elastic that holds it together. It's by Ranger, and it's got an envelope here you can put things in. And the cover goes flat, and it's like a journal inside the cover there. And, oh look, I did a page in 2020, and my word of the year for 2020 was clarity. 2020, vision, clarity. Seeking clarity is seeking connection with the universe. Oh, and here I am connecting with the universe. I haven't read this in 4 years. To connect is to understand. To be clear is to be enlightened. Perfect Vision 2020. And I don't know who this is supposed to be. It's just a face. I think I just wanted to have some eyes on there. And this is supposed to be the bokeh when you take a picture and the lens, you get all those like spots of light on the lens. I think that's what this is supposed to be. I forgot who she's supposed to be, but I think I'm just doing a face. So, and look. Okay, that's it. That's it. There's nothing here. Well, it looks like I put gesso on some of the pages. But I skipped the first page and went over here for some reason. And then it looks like I had something here, but I covered it up. So I did this 4 years ago with my word for the year, and that was that. That was that. Let's see if 2024 can see a little bit more mixed media. I know I have some journaling prompts to do in my other journals too. Okay, let's see. what Janet did was, I wrote it down, she did like asemic writing, and she tore paper, and she put paint, and she put some gold on top, and she put a figure. And so I was thinking that I wanted to follow those prompts. Not really prompts, it's just kind of like what she did. She too big for the page. All right, let's cut her out and see if she fits on the page. Because I think she's going to be my fairy. I'll have to get some wings for her. Well, Miss Joanne Gaines, you fit perfectly on my page. Isn't that like the perfect fairy gown, though? I used to love to watch Chip and Joanne Gaines and their house renovations. Now, Janet was very inspired by nature. I haven't had a chance to look all through this. Look at this little tree seedling. I'm going to have to harvest some pictures from here. I'm just going to go quick and look for something nature inspired. Oh, here's a buffalo. There's a buffalo. I know what that is. That's a BeCorn. Oh, this is, let me read. David Bird. Yeah, he makes these little creatures, little people, little acorn folk out of natural objects, and he photographs them and he fills them. Oh, he's got a few on YouTube. I will list that below. You have to see the BeCorns. They are fabulous. Oh my gosh, I love the BeCorns. Was it Heather C? Was it Heather C that told me about the BeCorns? Shout out, Heather, if that was you. Okay, now I'm going to sit here and read this. Oh, he worked for Lego, and then he quit his job, but he was looking for something creative to do, and he had this simple idea. He picked up some things from nature and grabbed his glue gun and made a little acorn friend. I know I'm jumping around here. 15 years later, that world is in full motion with photographs that catalog the adventures of these tiny acorn people as they explore the wilderness and interact with animals. They feed seeds to birds out of baskets made from eucalyptus pods. They greet hibernating chipmunks as they emerge from holes for the first time every spring. They splash in pools of water with birds on hot summer days. Because the BeCorns are so small, familiar backyard elements become fantastical. A mushroom top is a shelter from a storm. A flower looms like a skyscraper. A squirrel is as powerful and dangerous as a dragon. So he builds them and stages them in his backyard. I think there's some videos too on how he does all this. It takes him quite a while to get all that done. Oh, this is one of my faves. Look at the little guy. I love these little guys. And the chipmunk, he's feeding the chipmunk some seeds. Oh my gosh, look at these. Look at these little people. Looks like he's picking berries and putting them in a basket. I don't know what this one's doing, but he's standing on a mushroom. And there's a little guy. Oh, and there's a bee. It looks like he's talking to the bee. Oh. And there he is. There's a sketch, I guess, of what he wants. There's a little critter he's making. Oh, you can find some of this on YouTube because I've watched these videos. You have to check out the BeCorns. Oh my gosh, yes you do. Where is he? He's based in Rhode Island. Ooh, he's pretty close. I should look him up. He's pretty close to me. I gotta look him up. Well, this is definitely going in today's today's page because this is definitely nature. So this little guy has got to go on the page. I've got a fairy here. Oh, we can make it a 2-page spread. I might cut that up a little bit and I'll save that little one there. Ooh. All right. This is a fall book, fall magazine. So the colors are going to be fall, but that's okay, even though we're in the middle of winter. Maybe this orange here. Oh, and this. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Stop. Okay. Joanne, you have to wait for right now. I'm going to experiment with this pen. It's called Elegant Writer, and this will actually run when you put water on it. And it might be perfect for asemic writing and then put some water on it. I don't know. We'll experiment here, okay? I turned to another page because that one's got gesso on it. So, and with asemic writing, basically it just looks like you're writing something, but you're not really writing anything. And there's really not any meaning to it. Just, your shapes of letters. Oh my gosh, this is fun. Make some long, some short. Some go up, some go down, some are loopy. And this is a calligraphy pen. Now you can actually write something. That's very therapeutic to actually write something and then, cover it over with paint and something. You can put an affirmation. You can put, you can express some feelings that maybe you don't really want to share with anybody. So you're going to scribble, write it, and then cover it up with mixed media. Sometimes it's good just to get these things out of our head onto a piece of paper. Okay, last line. Okay. Asemic writing. It's supposed to be like texture in the background, not to be read. Okay, I have some water. So instead of painting, let's just do this. Get a big brush. Oh, that's a perfect fall color, isn't it? Yeah. So this is just going to be a background. So I did the painting and the asemic writing as really one step here, right? Okay, I always forget to go to the edge. Beautiful. Beauteous, as my sister would say. All right, let me grab a paper towel. And I'm just doing this because I used that big brush and I got the page really wet. So do a little bit of mopping up here. What is this, like an Indian red, sort of? Okay, so let's put Joanne here. And this was something else that looked like so much fun. It's just tearing some strips. You can always rip like this too. Oh, where's the BeCorn? How big is the BeCorn? Can I fit these on one page? Is she beautiful? Look at the light on her face. I'm going to put a little wing back here. And we're going to cut these critters out. what I'm going to do is alternate, like the books. Oh, this one's too long. I didn't trim this one, did I? Like that. With the trees. And maybe the green. Leave little spaces so you can see that writing in the background. I want to put a green one. Here we go. Nope, that's a little one. So we put some more books. Somebody wants to come in. Who's knocking at the door? Who's knocking at the door? Titi? Meow. Come on in. Those brownish reds of the books look really nice with that brownish red in the background. All right, so I saw somebody do this where they were alternating different patterns. I know I've got trees going sideways, but it makes for interesting movement in the background, right? Joanne right there. Do we want her in front? Ooh, maybe, yeah. So she's like right with them. Well, you know what? I'm going to find some wings first before I glue her down. This is my butterfly bucket. Oh, these are pretty. Do I have two of those? Like the first one I pulled out, I do have a brown one. We don't want everything so brown. I like that that's got some sparkling color in it. That might be interesting. Well, let's pull out a few and then we'll audition. Okay, I put the butterfly wings right there on her shoulder. And, I mean, this is gentle journaling. You can be done. You can add more. See, I got my asymmetric writing, tearing. I did my fairy. I have my nature inspiration here. Oh, you know what? I think she put a word. Let me look for a word. I'm just going to put the words that were right there on the cover. There's more to see from where you stand. And where she's standing, she can see this wondrous, fantastical little nature scene. I love it. Can I fit these on the cover? I might have to cut them all out and glue them down. So I'll be right back. And to honor Miss Janet UK, I'm going to take my Deco Color gold leaf pen by Marvy and add some gold. There's more to see from where, and I put You Stand down here by the BeCorns because I think that makes sense to me. I just put a squiggly line of gold around the edge there. And that is all there is to gentle journaling. So, if you are a creator and you do some gentle journaling, tag Janet at Janet Nash and use the hashtag gentle journaling. Well, I might just fill this journal up one of these days, and I'm hoping that I get more than one page every 4 years done. Maybe with Janet's inspiration I will. Thank you, Janet, and thank you for coming along today. Happy junk journaling. Bye-bye.